Welcome back. In this tutorial we're going to look at thrown weapons and thrown items. Similar things but slightly different. The first example we're going to look at is a grenade. We can add a few grenades to the demo character. The grenade is a weapon. It's a thrown weapon. It has a model that goes in the hand, it's a normal grenade, and it has the projectile which is actually thrown, which is this grenade projectile. It can be thrown and removed when thrown. The grenade projectile has a weapon hook, an audio source, sphere collider, a rigid body, damage collider, which technically is not needed, and it has this throwable object component. This throwable object component, on activation, meaning either on impact or timed, depending on whichever happens first, will spawn this VFX, play sound, and activate this explosion action which deals damage in a radius, and that's what grenades do, right? There are two weapons actions attached to this weapon. They both are the same action, they work in different ways. The first is a fire weapon action that does not, it's a throw weapon action that throws the grenade right in front of you at the default distance. The second lets you control the throwing point. You can aim, you can move the camera and press the horizontal input to rotate to align with the camera, and then you throw your grenade. The two animations are slightly different because there is one animation with the full cycle of throwing, which is the one used in this scenario, and the same animation is split into two parts because there's the aiming and the actual throwing. So if you look at the two actions, the only difference is the timing of the animation. If you look at the animator in the override animation, override interaction, there are three animations used for throwing. This is the full throw from idle, and these two are throw actual right, actual left, which are triggered after the throw aim left or right, depending on which hand you have your animation, your weapon. The second example we are going to look at is a thrown axe. This is slightly different from the grenade. This is a weapon for all intent and purposes. Can be thrown by shooting. It has one weapon prefab, and it has one thrown weapon prefab. It has 4 actions: attack, strong attack, parry, and throw. And when you equip it, you can use the axe for normal combat, but you can go into aim mode and throw the axe. The axe will hit the target and you can pick it back up. The way this works is this. The normal axe, the normal weapon, it has a normal weapon hook, it has a normal damage collider. The thorn axe, on the other hand, has damage collider, it has a rigid body, it has a weapon hook, it has a box collider which is used for embedding in the target. It has the thorn weapon script, which is different from the thorn object script. These are the layers that actually stop the weapon. You can specify whether to attach it to the target or not. There's a pickup attached underneath, which basically has a glow VFX, and a pickup trigger that's configured to pick up the weapon you have thrown, hand axe. You can add a hit sound and an audio source if you want, and it has a try renderer for to show the path the weapon does. If you untick attach to target, your weapon will hit the target and bounce off. And now it's too close. Yeah, and then you can pick it up. The third example is a thorn bottle, which you can use, for example, if you want to distract an AI, throw something that makes noise. This is a weapon, can be thrown, removed as a projectile, has a model that spawns in the hand, and it has just the two items, the two actions, same as were for the grenade. If you go into play mode, you can throw it, and this will spawn a VFX. You can also throw it straight in front of you, and this will also spawn a VFX. How is this done? It's done with this bottle projectile. This is just meshes. It has a rigid body, it has a capture collider, and it has two components, breakable object and throwable object. Throwable object is the one that's responsible for managing the throwing, the activation type on impact or timed, destroy an activation with a delay, on when it collides, it will tell the breakable object handle broken, which will spawn the break VFX, could also spawn a breaking sound, and this is how you get the VFX. So depending on what you want to do, whether you want to deal damage, whether you want to aim by shooting, aim by throwing, different ways of doing things. See you next time.